Like they had that one really big balancing update, and then there was like a new stupid meta with endurance for like a week, and then they were like, it's too powerful. That's a bit too
Yeah.
strong. You can,
But
and I mean it was
notice
annoying,
when they
but
say we're fixing this map, what they mean is we're making it more killer sided.
mm. That is what happened. People were complaining about Haddonfield because I mean it did suck, really bad actually. Uh, and then they fixed it, and now it still sucks really bad, just in a whole new different way.
All right. Well, again, like, but you listen to a killer main, the gens, they go too fast. Let me explain gens to you with actual math, shall I? Let's start with our games as Survivor. As a Survivor, in any game I played, I don't want year 7, year 8. As of year 8, all 5 gens have been 130 done 130 times out of 265 games. So you're like, wow, that's like half or whatever you want, right? That's cool. But I need you to understand, the killer literally only lost 40% of those games.
Ooh.
What does it matter how fast they're done? They still die.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, the killer only won 32% of those games. The rest were ties. Right?
That is.
But those poor survivors, they die.
They die
And
for
you're
the sake
looking at a
of
2K or
person
better.
escaping. 2 people escaping
Well,
or so.
what about when you're a 4-man SWIP? Well, I started tracking that data.
Yeah. And
And um
they just gotta add voice chat to
and
the game, honestly.
and of the 5 games, all 5 gens were done. We didn't win a single one of them. 3 2Ks and a 1K.
Ugh.
And that's with us as a 4-man SWIP, including the Chucky game we played. Now, let's go over to Pig, with whom I play no perks, no add-ons. You want to guess the average gens done per game? Or the average gens remaining per game?
I'm gonna guess
First off, that should be a hint.
average gens remaining per game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with one gen.
you are correct. They have to do
Ooh.
5.
Yep.
Now, in 92 games, all 5 gens have been done 48 times. It's like almost half, right? Or more than half, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, of the 48 times all the gens were done, the killer still only loses 48% of the time. The other 53% of the time, I 2K'd or better. What does it matter if the gens are done, if everybody still dies? If you ask me, that should be like, wow. Now, again, Dead by Daylight might be happy with this data because the as a killer, when all 5 gens are done, I only win 25% of the time. So I win 25% of the time. I tie. Hold on, let me do this math. I tie 27% of the time. And I lose the other 47% of the time. The other 48% of the time. So, I'm sorry, guys. You don't have me convinced. In fact, I studied True Talents games. His numbers are better than mine at top MMR. And I just wish more people stop, like, remembering that one game where you got obliterated. I have been obliterated quite literally.
Today alone, it's been a bit.
No, as Survivor, I'm obliterated every day. But my loss rate as Pig with no perks, no add-ons. I'm going to say this again. My loss rate as Pig with no perks and no add-ons is 25%. I win when all 5 gens are done more often than I lose ever. With a pig,
Jeez.
with no perks and no add-ons. I don't want to hear anyone talk to me about how fast gens are.
But to be fair,
And
you haven't done every killer yet. Once you do
that's
100
true.
games on every killer.
But pig is my 8th killer. I've had a losing record with exactly one of them. And I've failed to get to 50 wins with exactly 2 of them. Every other killer was an outright winning game. Why is it that way? Glad I did it that way. So, and look, I can probably, like literally, I can probably remember all 25 of those games. Because I've had 11 games where 4 survivors got out, and they were probably laughing the whole way. And those 11 games, I can tell you like what went on, what I did wrong. But the most important part of that whole statement is I can tell you what I did wrong. I'm like, oh well, I went for the trade instead of leaving the trade survivor down and going for the tunnel out or doing other stuff. Now, if you say, well, in order to do that, I have to, that's cool. But you know what? You can and you will. Survivors bring all the meta, and they still die. The last point I want to make, and I really want your thoughts on this, because sometimes I wonder if I'm just thinking crazy thoughts.
All right.
People say things like, well, your MMR must be low. True or false? MMR is based on kill rate.
It is. It is 100% based on kill rate, and I mean, you saw the video too recently. And I remember when it all came out, there was huge controversy over it with the whole
Yeah.
With the whole, well, if you died at the very end, maybe it wasn't a skillful play like that.
Yeah.
Because that's what's it's based only on escapes and only on kills.
So, for the record, do you want to guess what my kill rate is after 792 games without perks and without add-ons? 100 of which were Michael Myers without perks and without add-ons?
Ooh. Kill rate after...
792 games, 100 of which were Michael Myers.
Michael Myers, no perks, no add-ons. Had to have been rough. Just kind of unrelated, but that had to have been rough. Anyway.
I could not wait to get through that series. I might have played 20 games in one night just to get it over with.
That might be like, I want to say like 40%.
Way higher.
Way higher? Ooh.
Way higher.
Like 55%.
A little higher.
Is it like 60% or something?
59.09%.
Oh my goodness.
That is my kill rate after all of those games.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Now, someone will be quick to point out, well, you know, a high kill rate doesn't mean a high win rate. Would you like to guess my win rate after 792 games without perks and without add-ons?
I mean, if your kill rate is that, I'd also guess it's like around 50%.
52%.
Jeez.
So, according to my data, and not like GG, you want to know the average separation between a kill rate and a win rate?
Yeah.
8%. So those people who say a 60% win rate could be a 20%, I'm sorry, a 60% kill rate could be a 20% win rate. Your math is correct in the theory, but it never happens.
Theoretically it could be, but that's...
It's possible mathematically, but it doesn't happen. In fact, do you want to know the greatest separation I've seen between a kill rate and a win rate?
Sure.
In all of my research, I researched all of Nightlight GG's. I watched True Talent for a whole day. I watched all of my games. And the highest separation between a kill rate and a win rate was Michael Myers. My kill rate and win rate were 15% apart.
Jeez. That's the
And
highest you've seen.
That was the highest separation. So you're not lying, but you're saying things like World War III could happen tomorrow, and it could. I'm not buying a nuclear radiation suit. I'm not buying a bomb shelter. You're saying I could be struck by lightning. Yeah, but I'm still going to go outside tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's there. So I would like your reaction to this data. Like, what conclusions do you draw from those mathematical facts?
Well, it's certainly pretty surprising. Like, that's like perkless and add-on list is like, jeez. I'm not an insanely mathematical person. I'm trying to remember everything. That's like that's just genuinely like crazy. That's like the win rate's that high, the kill rate's that high for all of that. After all the day you've collected 792 games. It makes me think there might be some sort of balancing things that need to be addressed too, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Let's go back to the gen speed debate. How long do you think it takes for survivors to get all the gens done against me with no perks and no add-ons? Just with Pig. Because I don't want to look at all the other data just yet.
All gens done against Pig.
Yeah, in seconds, for the record. In seconds.
Okay.
How many seconds do you think it takes from the beginning of the game to all 5 gens completed, on average, when all 5 gens are completed? So I only do the math when all 5 gens are done.
Alright. So, Pig does have base kit slowdown with her traps. Probably means it's a little... I guess like around like 500 seconds maybe?
You're close. 566 seconds. Now, you were with us when we were doing the test on how long you can get the gen done if you just burn out gens.
Yeah, we got like 200 seconds, like...
220 seconds. Yeah, that's true. You could. But you have no idea how hard it is. No idea how hard it is to get survivors to do gens. Now, again, you're going to argue, well, the MMR. And I'm like, MMR based on kill rate. Refer to previous conversation. But that's okay. To be fair, let me go to my drive. Is it on my other one? It might be on my other one. Because I thought about all this, right? So I said, you know what I need to do? I need to look at a top streamer. And I'm not being sarcastic. I'm like, I'm going to look at True Talent's data. Right?
Yeah, True Talent,
so,
despite his reputation, he is very good at the game. He's played a lot.
And do you know where that's reflected? In the time it takes to get all 5 gens done. His average is 330 seconds when they get done.
Oh.
But wait. Yes, when the gens are done, they are done much quicker.
Right. So
But
he's probably
here's
going
the
against
interesting thing.
more coordinated,
Yeah,
higher level teams,
he's going against higher level guys, right? He only lost 20% of those games.
Jeez.
So here's the interesting thing. At my MMR and at his MMR, our loss rate is within 5%, even though, respectively speaking, his gens are done more quickly than my gens. Because he is still that much better than I am. So, one, I feel that proves MMR is a thing, and I think that proves he is top MMR.
Right, right.
But even though the gens go faster for him, that is statistical fact, he still performs better than I do when all 5 gens are done.
I mean, that makes sense because he's much more used to that. Probably much more used to handling when survivors are gen rushing or just generally good survivors.
Yeah. So let's put this to bed, guys. Gen speed's not a problem. Like these are all mathematical facts. I posted a whole video on this on my YouTube channel. Some of it, like I made a video saying, "Hey, True Talent, like these are my," and I don't disagree with everything he says. I do believe the game should be based on hooks. I love his idea for endgame collapse. These are real things, but I get very frustrated when he talks about things as if they happen all the time when they don't. That is what frustrates me. And focusing 100% of your energy on 20% of Dead by Daylight is not rational. I'm more worried about the other 80% of Dead by Daylight. So, thank you. I wondered if how you would react. I wondered like what you thought, and I didn't think you'd be this shocked. I didn't.
I definitely like agreed with you even like before hearing all of this. But it's just like hearing like the actual numbers. It's like, man, that's crazy. That's uh just a lot. Like also like the amount of people that are like killer's underpowered, buff killer, or survivors overpowered, nerf gen speeds, make them run slower. That's a lie. I've never seen anyone saying make them run slower, but it just really like
Yeah.
puts into perspective how many people will like see something without like doing any like actual like research or putting everything on the table and then being like, okay, this is the fact now. I saw it one time. That means that it is objective fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, having the data is just really, it puts everything in perspective.
Thank you so much. All right, man. I'm gonna say goodnight to you. I appreciate you hearing me rant for a little bit. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. But whenever I see you again, it'll be a real pleasure.
Yeah, good night, man. I'll
Good
probably
night,
be on
dude.
tomorrow. I don't have anything going on, I don't think.
Cool. I'll see you around, man. Night.